Down on the streets, New York City is defined by its density. Millions of people pack the sidewalks and fill the avenues every single day, creating a baseline of constant ground-level noise. Directly above those crowds sits a separate world. There are thousands of rooftops, connected by maintenance ladders, fire escapes, water towers, and abandoned mechanical rooms that sit empty after midnight. Most people never see them. Tonight, we are looking at 3 verified accounts from individuals who entered these spaces and encountered unexplained phenomena. Physical isolation in a city of 8 million people creates a specific type of vulnerability. You are surrounded by humanity, yet entirely out of reach. Alex worked overnight maintenance for a luxury Manhattan apartment building. His shift required him to check rooftop HVAC units alone in the dark, navigating an open field of heavy machinery. Around 2:15 a.m., he noticed a motionless figure in a long, dark coat standing beside the building's old wooden water tower. He called out, but the figure remained silent. The person simply turned and walked behind the structure. Alex followed immediately, reaching the other side in less than 5 seconds. The space was empty. This schematic shows the geometry of the roof. Circling a cylindrical water tower in 5 seconds leaves no blind spots. There are no secondary exits or equipment large enough to conceal a person. Alex returned to his work, but minutes later his radio crackled with static. A single sentence came through. "He's behind you." He spun around to find the roof still physically empty. Security reviewed the rooftop cameras later that morning. The footage showed Alex alone, but every few seconds, a distinct shadow appeared directly behind him, mimicking his every movement. The watcher didn't need to hide behind the water tower or find a stairwell. It stayed out of sight by occupying the observer's own blind spot. Emily lived in a small Brooklyn apartment where her bedroom window opened directly onto the building's metal fire escape. At 3 a.m. on a humid August night, she heard slow, rhythmic, metallic footsteps. Through the blinds, she saw a dark figure climbing upward, passing her window and heading toward the roof. Police arrived within minutes and searched the stairwells, the roof, and the adjacent buildings. They found no one. When the footsteps returned the following night, Emily recorded the figure climbing past her window again. When officers reviewed the footage, they focused on the climber's path along the building's exterior. The fire escape structure terminates 2 floors below Emily's apartment. Her video captured the figure climbing through empty air, as if the metal ladder still existed. The recording documented a localized violation of physics, suggesting an entity repeating a climb on the structure that was no longer there. Daniel, a freelance photographer, spent an evening capturing the Midtown skyline from an exclusive office tower helipad. After dark, he found the rooftop access door was gone. The wall where it had been was now solid, leaving him with no visible way to exit the roof. He found a security guard standing on the helipad wearing a decades-old uniform with a rusted badge and antique equipment. The guard silently pointed toward the opposite side of the roof, where a standard exit door had suddenly appeared. When Daniel turned back, the man had vanished. Historical records later revealed that a night guard had died on that exact rooftop decades earlier after becoming trapped during a maintenance lockout. While editing his skyline photos later, Daniel found the guard in nearly every image. The figure was standing on the edge of the helipad, even in the shots taken before sunset. The exit door only reappeared after Daniel acknowledged the presence of the guard on the helipad. The New York skyline is a grid of vast, empty spaces suspended above the city. At these heights, the typical rules of the street level no longer seem to apply. These accounts suggest a lingering psychological dread, the possibility of something occupying the spaces we assume are vacant. If you find yourself alone on a rooftop after midnight, pay close attention to your surroundings. High-altitude isolation carries the weight of a quiet realization that you are never the only one up there.